So as you guys know, I'm Priya. I'm a finance analyst. I'm from Hounslow Town Church. Okay, so I'm from a Catholic background and I was brought in faith at a very young age by my parents. Although I was from a Catholic background and my parents trusted God, they believed in God, they used to go to church every Sunday and all. I was brought up in a house of conflict day and night. There was no peace in my family. There was always a disturbance in my family, and my dad was addicted to alcohol, due to which we had to go through so many circumstances and life difficulties like financial issues and mental issues and emotional issues. During this time when I was growing up, they kept fighting, but they're amazing people. If you meet them personally, they are like the best amazing people. They love me, they love God, and they pray for me, which is huge blessing. But the conflicts never stopped, as in when I was growing as well. I was pulled into the conflict. I was also part of it after a certain age. So because of this, I ended up becoming a rebellious child, a stubborn child. And I was not just a stubborn child, I was also suicidal. And I'm so sorry if this is overwhelming you guys. But I was also suicidal and tried ending my life on a couple of occasions. But God has been so grateful and so gracious to me. His love was faithful to me even when I was not faithful to Him. I tried seeking this love and attention from outside relationships like my friends, my families, and other relationships, which never really worked out. And then I was depressed. But you wouldn't know that I'm depressed because I never wanted to show myself as a broken person from a broken family, because I'm a perfectionist. If you see me, I'll be a perfect person. You'll never know at all. And I wanted to run away from all those chaos, because when I was going through all of that, if you would have met a teenage Priya, she is not like this. She is a rebellious kid. Like, she would literally back answer you. She's a stone cold, like very rude person that you would ever meet. So yeah, I wanted to run away and all that. So that's when God has used all of those situations to get me to UK. Now you might be wondering, how can a lower middle class family, a girl from lower middle class, without any savings, with all the financial difficulties and without the source of income from my father, come to UK for masters? That's when I say my God is an awesome God, and it's Jehovah Jireh. And because of my mother, she's a blessing and she's prayed for me a lot. She got me a scholarship from the church, from the Catholic Church, for me to continue my studies, because of which I completed my graduation in India. And then I was blessed with a career, an amazing career back in India. I worked with top multinational companies with good positions and back-to-back promotions. And that's the reason how I ended up coming to UK with whatever I had with me. After coming to UK as well, I was still depressed. I was alone for the first, I was actually alone for the first time. 26 years you live with your parents, and then all of a sudden, at least even in all those chaos, you still have your parents. But when you come to UK, you're completely alone with no one. I've got all the freedom that I got. That's when I got into worldly friendships, and I ended up going for parties, addictions, and dramas. Everything just started back then. But my heart and my spirit, I think it's because of my mother's prayer, that my heart was still fighting with my spirit, and I could just feel it. But that didn't change me, and I still continued the way I was living with all those parties and stuff. That day, November 13th, 2023, I was coming back from Edinburgh with my friends, and we met with an accident. I was sitting at the back of I was sitting in the back seat, in the middle seat, and without any seat belt or anything. And suddenly I felt the urge to put on the seatbelt and pray. I did. Within seconds, the car crashed into a huge tree. The front of the car was completely disfigured. I can show you the pictures if you guys want. It was completely disfigured. And yeah, I think that prayer really worked. And right after the accident, my mother called me and she knew that something happened. But I was so strong enough to tell, nah, everything is good, I'm fine. I was standing in the rain under the tree and I was like, nah, everything is fine, I'm going back to sleep. And I lied to her and I put down the call. Did I learn anything from that? No, I did not. And then afterwards, in 2024 March, my life was crashing down. Like I took a house with my friends. My life was completely crashing down. I stopped going to classes. The main reason I came to UK was to finish my masters, and I stopped going to classes. I was drenched in financial crisis, but God is such a provider that He again made a way through it, through my brother and my aunt, and successfully I graduated as well. But again, did I learn through that? No, I did not. Again, in June 2024 again, all the friends that I had, suddenly they disappeared, completely disappeared. No calls, no messages, complete silence, complete loneliness. I was on the verge of becoming homeless because of my financial crisis. And that moment I kind of sat and I reflected, where is my life leading? What am I doing? And I started reading Bible, I started getting back to God. But then I was not fully getting back to God. I was at that side and also I was at this side. And then I was like, something is going on in my life which I really can't understand. And then one of my friend Joel, he asked me to come to a prayer meeting on Good Friday and Easter. That day I didn't want to go to the prayer meeting, but I went to the prayer meeting. I knelt down and I started crying and I was just asking God to acknowledge me once. Acknowledge me once, that's more than enough for me in my life. I will never ask you anything else. The pastor over there, he was calling me twice. I didn't move. In my defense, I was just closing my eyes so I couldn't see that he was calling me. And the third time, this guy just nudged me and I ran to the altar. The moment I ran to the altar, I knelt down and I prayed. That's when I had a real encounter with God, and I was anointed with the Holy Spirit. And my heart transformed for some reason. A girl who was so stone-cold, who was such a rebellious and stubborn kid, all of a sudden I felt compassion and empathy towards myself and to my parents who treated me very badly, although they didn't want it to. I felt sorry for them not understanding how to take care of me, of people who abandoned me, of people who betrayed me and all. I started feeling compassion for them more than anger. And then that's when I changed. But then I was going to the church. I started going to Hounslow Town Church back then. And then I did Bible studies. Oh no, this is a different story actually. I got the invitation pamphlet of Hounslow Town Church 2 years ago when I came to UK. That pamphlet was in my Bible, in another Bible. And the day when I was homeless, like I was on the verge of homeless, when I was just looking where to go to church, that's when I found Hounslow Town Church pamphlet, and that's when I googled and I found Hounslow. It was just like God's given sign to go to the church. And I was going to the Bible study, I was attending the life group, but cut to 6 months, I again fell into sin and I didn't know what exactly to do. I was so prideful. Like when you sin separates you from God. And this time I actually felt that. Before, when I was actually doing all kinds of stuff, I knew that my mother's prayer was a protection for me to go back to God. But this time I kind of felt that, it was my responsibility. And when I felt it was my responsibility, I felt prideful of what I did. And I didn't want to go back to God. Exactly a month ago, I went into a season of disappointment where I had to go through the season again of rejection and abandon and betrayal. And this time I felt so traumatized. All my old memories, which I was, you know, accumulating and suppressing inside me, uh, all of them just suddenly started crawling back to me. And this time I just took a U-turn and I was like, nah, this is not gonna happen. I'm just gonna go back to God. And I knelt down and I prayed in my room exactly a month ago. And I was asking God all these questions, like, why me? Why does it happen to me? What did I deserve to feel so abandoned by people? Why do people I trust that just abandon me so easily as if I'm nothing? But I don't know, for some reasons I've been getting all the flashbacks from my childhood. So one of the flashback was when my parents were trying to commit suicide. I was just 4 years old. I was running and trying to stop them. I was just 4 years old, and that memory of mine was suppressed behind my head, and all of a sudden it just came up. And since then I knew very firmly that God has never left me from then. Since I was 4 years old, since the time I was in my mother's womb, He never left me. He was always with me. I know that I will fall into sin. I know that his grace will cover me no matter. In Proverbs 24:16 it says a righteous man will fall 7 times and he will rise up again. So no matter how many times I will fall, I know that my God is standing right there, and I can go back to Him. But that's not an excuse to keep falling, definitely. But I know that He was there. He was feeling all those pain with me. He was when my heart was bleeding, his heart was actually bleeding as well. So He loved me. So when I'm searching for all this love from outside people, and I'm trying to be validated and chosen, I think His love has always been with me, and His endurance His love sustained me as much, like, for the entire life. So yeah, I got a signal from there to cut it off. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, but then all I want to say is, if anyone is going through the same thing, He is always with us. Yeah, we will fall, but then He will take us back to Him. In Habakkuk 3:19 it says, my sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as a sure-footed like a deer, even though I know I'm losing my balance. So as long as I trust that word, I think I'm good in my Lord's place.
After that, what God has done in your life.
He's given me
Yes.
a new life. He's given me a new purpose. Yeah. So my purpose is to see how much I can spread gospel to God, and how I can be useful. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope this testimony has got some encouragement. Thank you. And